do not buy a truck starting off. I just spoke to, a matter of fact, it was not yesterday. I hope he's on here. He might be on my live. Just spoke to him yesterday. He said he bought a truck, young guy, I'm proud of him, 23 years old. Bought a truck within his first 3 months. He done spent, I think, $3,000 getting a repair, $3,000 or $5,000 getting a repair on his truck in the first 3 months. And he said, now I see I'm going to rent the remainder of my trucks because these trucks break down. So just imagine in 3 months, he already got a bill. No, I think it was $5,000. So think about it. He already got a bill starting out the gate in 3 months. So my answer to that is no, do not buy a truck starting off. And let me explain to you again why. If you get, let's just say you got somebody to rent a truck, somebody's buying a truck, right? The same exact steps you take to rent is the same exact step you take to buy. Because when I started off with rentals. I still don't own a truck after 4 years of being in the business. So you start off, the LLC is the same, the authority is the same, the down payment for the insurance is the same. And the only difference is if you purchase a truck, you got to put a down payment. If you're renting a truck, it's usually $1,000. Rental deposit. Now the difference is, let's say you're doing it for 3-6 months and you just don't like it. All you got to do is, you already made your money back. You out of the hole. You should make your money back from starting this business at least in the first month. All your money you invested, if you go hard, you can make it back in a month. So now, as people say, like when you go to, I don't know if you gamble, if you playing money and you start with 100 and you won 300, you took your 100, put it back in your pocket. As they say, you playing with the house money. Now you're playing with the house money. So guess what? 2 or 3 months, 5 months, you don't like it, you're not out of no money. You made a profit and you just quit. Now, if you buy a truck for $50,000, $60,000 and you don't like it, you're not going to be able to sell that truck for $50,000, $60,000 back to for the price you bought it. So, no, do not buy a truck starting off. Now, if you're doing it and you got $5,000, $10,000, not five, I would say $10,000, $15,000 laying around, then you could buy a truck, but I don't want to buy a truck. And the reason why I say that is because I don't like maintenance. The only time my money leave my account is when I want it to leave my account. Like if I want to go buy something, go on a trip, go on a vacation. Otherwise, you have to be very careful with these trucks. Like I stated in the last live, I'll state it in this live because I always have new people. Think about this. If you go to the Ryder website right now, look up used box truck 26. They got 100 pages with maybe 20 to 30 trucks on it. Ask yourself, why is it Ryder buy all of their trucks brand new, right? They buy all the brand new models. They rent them out for 2 or 3 years. When those trucks started hitting to a point, and mind you, Ryder has a maintenance shop. They have a full-fledged maintenance shop. Why is it when these trucks get to a certain miles, they're probably already paid them off, why do they decide to sell them? Think about that. You know why they're selling them? Because they hit a point where these trucks are going to start having mechanical issues left and right. So what they do is they dump it out to the public. We go buy the trucks for $30,000, $40,000 thinking we're getting a deal. But guess what? You bought a truck for $40,000 that within the next couple of years going to need $40,000 worth of repair. So with that being said, that's the reason why they're selling these trucks. Even them, as they're renting the trucks, they're not in a business of maintenance. They don't want to fix trucks. The same thing with Enterprise. If you go, let's talk about cars. When you go to Enterprise, you can't rent a 2020 car right now in 2025. They always get the latest models. When it hits to the point of the warranties being over, they take them to auction and then buy a new set of cars. So they don't have to pay for maintenance like that. Anytime those cars break down when they're in the warranty, they take it to the dealership to get fixed. So you just got to think about that. Maintenance is a killer. So with that being said, if you're not buying a fairly new truck, just be careful if you're purchasing a truck. So like I told you guys, I don't know if you remember, but when I set up my whole system, think about this. Think about big businesses that popped in the last 10 years. In my decade, we got Airbnb, we got Uber, we got Turo. They have changed the game. Before I go look at a hotel, I look at Airbnb. So Airbnb is the future. But guess what? Airbnb, they don't own properties. They get a property, they find an owner, come to them. Let's say somebody renting their house out for $500 a night. Or let's just say it was $1,000 for the weekend. Well, guess what? Airbnb is making a little bit of money off of everybody that rent their house. The water heater goes out in the house. The roof caves in. The appliance break. Airbnb don't have to pay for it. The homeowner has to pay for it. So Airbnb is using somebody else's equipment, which is a house, for them to make money. Same thing with Turo. Same thing with all of these kind of apps like Uber. Uber is the same thing. Uber don't own cars, but what they do is they get a contractor to come work for them, and then they make a little bit of money from people using their cars and their equipment. That's the same exact thing I'm doing with renting trucks. I don't own the truck. I rent the truck. I make a little bit of money on top of it. Like I always tell you, I make $200 per truck per night every night. I have my trucks running 5 trucks running a night. That's $1,000. Every single night I make. When I go to sleep, I make up $1,000. Go to sleep the next day, I make $1,000. Long as I have internet access and got an hour there, I can book all of my loads for all of my trucks. And yes, it is more expensive than buying a truck. So let's say you bought a truck. Let's say that payment is between $1,500. But you buy a decent truck, you're gonna probably be around $1,500 to $2,000, right? But now, let's just say if I rent a truck and it's $750 a week, and that's like, let's just say it's $500 and somebody's paying $250 in their miles. So they're paying $750 a week after the miles plus the base rate. So look, clear this up. If you got a truck for $500 a week and then you got miles, let's say the cents is 15 cents, and then you use up $250. So that's $750 times 4, right? So that's what, $3,000 that you will be paying. $750 times 4, yeah, $3,000 that you'll be paying in a rental, right? Whereas if you bought a truck, you might be paying $2,000 a month. Now, this is the problem where a lot of people make. Just because your payment is $2,000 a month and mine is $3,000 a month, you don't get to profit that $1,000. You get what I'm saying? That $1,000 that you're saving, you need to be putting that in a maintenance account. You get what I'm saying? So when that truck do break down, you can fix it. The difference is with me is when I'm paying that $3,000, I don't have to worry about a maintenance account, if that makes sense.